Oh, Caitlin, Ethan, what's going on with you two?
Nothing.
Why are you all in the park all alone and so sad?
Honestly, Grandpa Darrell, we did something very terrible. We broke our mother's new vase.
Oh, well, that sounds like a terrible situation. But, I think your mother loves you way more than she loves that vase. And she's probably worried sick about you.
But if we go back home, we're dead. Yeah.
You know what? This might help. I remember there was one time when I was on a bus. And we were riding on the bus, and it was a bumpy road. We were riding on the bus, It's a bumpy road. And we stopped at a rest stop. And at the rest stop, everybody got out. You know, at the rest stop, there are many delicious foods. A lot of bakeries and ice cream, coffee, a lot of delicious stuff. And everybody got out to get some food, except there was one young man. He was still on the bus. And there was one passenger who walked up to him and asked him. He asked him, "What's wrong?" The passenger, he was crying. The hot dogs. The hot dogs. The hot dogs. Why are you crying because of the hot dogs? He said, this reminds me of my mother. When I saw the hot dogs, it reminded me of my mother. She sold hot dogs at the marketplace before. And now I'm going home to meet my mother. Well, why does that make you sad? There's no reason to be sad about meeting your mother. That's a good thing, the passenger said. But there was a reason why he was sad. You want to know why he was sad?
Yes.
Yeah, he was sad because when he was younger, this is what he told the passenger. He said, when I was younger, we were very, 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 very poor, me and my mother. And every day she went out and she sold hot dogs. She sold those hot dogs. And she said, hot dogs, get your hot dogs. Big, juicy, plumped hot dogs. Really delicious hot dogs. And every day she went to sell those hot dogs, no matter if it was rain, hail, sleet, or snow. She was out there selling the hot dogs. And because they were very poor, she didn't make a lot of money. But whatever money she had, she bought new clothes for the son. And she bought toothpaste and a toothbrush. She also bought the toilet paper for the house. She bought the house and she took care of them very, very well. But guess what? When the boy went to school, he saw all of his friends. They have on the best clothes, the name brand clothes. Like these days, name brand is Nike and Tommy Hilfiger and all those other things. His friends had on all the nice things. How do you think he felt? He wanted those things too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he would want those things. But then one day, he was very hungry and he saw, this delicious piece of bread in the village. And that bread was very expensive. Mother never buy that bread for me, but I love that bread and I want that bread. So rather than asking his mama, he did something very, very interesting. He got up and he went around. He broke into his mother's room and he went into her purse. He took money. You think that's how he felt? No. He took the money and quietly he went to buy the bread. And he got the big, fat, juicy, delicious looking bread. You think the bread was delicious? Yes, it was really delicious. And that's the thing. He ate the bread so happily. But after he ate the bread, do you know what happened? In his heart, he felt so bad. He thought about his mother. Oh, my mother, she got up every day and early in the morning to sell the hot dogs. Hot dogs, hot dogs. And her fingers were swollen, and her feet were swollen, and all of her body was so much in pain because she stood on her feet all day to sell the hot dogs. Yeah, she was selling those hot dogs. And so he thought about how painful it was for his mother to sell those hot dogs. But he had used the money from the mother to buy some delicious bread. And in his heart, he felt a lot of guilt. I stole money from my mother. And from that time, a big darkness filled his heart. When you go to the marketplace, you go to the snack shop or the store, you really want to buy something delicious, right? Right?
Yes.
Like what? Ice cream, right?
Yes.
Big ice cream, right? Chips, soda, juice. He wanted all those things. So that heart led him to steal the money from his mother. But when he stole the money later, that guilt filled his heart. But as he grew up, year by year by year, he became very tired. I don't want to be poor anymore, he said to himself, and he left his mother's house. But guess what happened? He met the wrong friends. He met gang members. Do you know gang members? Those are people who steal and do bad things together. He met them, and they became his friends. And they decided that they were going to go to a marketplace and rob one of the vendors. And so they got up and they made a plan. And it was just about the time when they were packing up. And there was this lady. She was just about to pack up, but she had really expensive stuff like Rolex watches and Nikes and all of the famous name brands. Famous name brand stuff, clothes, watches, we have it here, she said. And this is the last call. Nobody was there, so she started packing up. And at that time, the son and his gang friends, they came with their guns. And they went with their guns. And they came up behind the lady. Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Now reach and give me the money. Okay, you can put your hands down now. And they took all of the lady's money. And she said, "Get away, you rascals! Get away, you rascals!" And she grabbed her stick that she held under her table. And she swung her stick as strong as she can. And they ducked. And she swung again. "Get away, you rascals! This is my hard-earned money." And the son, he had never done this before. He was holding the gun. "Hey, lady, put the stick down. Put the stick down. Put the stick down, I said, put the stick down. This is my hard-earned money." She swung the stick and swung the stick and swung the stick. And he said, "This is my last warning. Put the stick down." And he looked, and there was blood everywhere. And he was shocked. Oh, what have I done? And at that time, he thought about his mom. My mom. If my mom was this lady, that would be so terrible. What have I done? It was an accident. It was an accident. And then he thought about his mom at that time. And he thought, if my mom found out about this, she would never forgive me. I stole from my mom. I ran away from my mom.
And now I killed someone. I have put shame on my mother's name. I could never see her face again.
And you know what he did? He ran as fast as he can. He ran and ran and ran. And then the police found him. Boom! Freeze! We know it was you. You're coming with us. He put his hands behind his back and they took him to prison. And he was in prison sitting there thinking, why did I do that? Why did I do that? I didn't want to do that. It was an accident. But now my mother, she will totally never love me again. I have put shame on my family. I am very guilty now. What am I going to do? That's what he thought to himself. And so one night he was sleeping. No, 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 no. And he woke up. And his prison mate, he said to him, what's going on? Another nightmare? Yes. About your mom, right? Yes, about my mom. And about the lady that I accidentally killed. My life would never be the same. And then one day, they called him in and they told him, you have a chance to go free. We're gonna watch you, but you have a chance to come out of prison. So he was very confused. Me come out of prison? But I have nowhere to go. I can't go home. I don't have a home. My mom won't accept me. And so he explained this to his prison mate. And his prison mate gave him an idea. Hey, you don't know if your mom loves you or not. I think if you want to know if your mom loves you, you should write her a letter. A letter? Yeah, a letter. What am I going to put in the letter? You should ask your mom, Mom, if you love me, I'm going to come home, okay? I'm going to come home, and if you tie a yellow ribbon around the tree that's in front of our house, I will know that you love me. If you don't tie the yellow ribbon, I will know you do not forgive me, and I will keep going, and I will never look back. And so this young man, he began to write the letter. Mom, this is your son. I haven't spoken to you in many years because I committed a very terrible crime. I killed someone by accident. And I know you can never forgive me for that. But if you love me, Mom, and if you forgive me, then please tie a yellow ribbon around the tree that's in front of our house. And when I come home, when I see that yellow ribbon, I will know you forgive me. And I will get off the train or the bus and I will come home. But if there is no yellow ribbon, I will keep going. And I will never come back. And so he wrote the letter and he sent it to his mom. And there was no reply. She didn't reply to him. And so he didn't know. And so now he's on the train. He's on the train. He gets off the train. He gets on the bus. And now he's on the bus very close to his town. And he enters the town. And all of the passengers had heard about this story. So they were all excited when they entered the town. They all gathered around the windows. They were overjoyed. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Yes! They were very excited. But he was very sad, sitting in the corner.
my mom. Will she accept me? I don't know. I hope she accepts me. I hope she's there. I hope she tied the yellow ribbon. But if she didn't, I'll never see her again. And then there was an old man on the bus. Can you imagine who that old man was?
No.
It was me. I went over to him and I said, "Young man, how about you look out the window?" And then they all got up and they were gathered around the window of the bus. And they all looked and they saw.
Hey, Grandpa, there's yellow ribbons.
That's right. There were yellow ribbons. They weren't just yellow ribbons around the tree in front of his house. There were yellow ribbons over the whole town. And every tree was covered in yellow ribbons. The mother had 100% forgiven the son. She loved him so much, and she was so happy to hear that her son was coming home that she put yellow ribbons all over the place. Son, I love you so much. You are the best. I missed you so much. Where were you all these years? And she was so happy that she took her and her friends and they put ribbons everywhere so the son could not miss the yellow ribbons. And they were very happy, and the mother was happy, and the son, he got off the bus and he saw his mom's face. Mom. And before the son could say anything, the mother, she ran to the son and she embraced him. My son, you're home. I missed you so much. Where were you? How have you been all these years? You look so healthy. Come inside. Let's eat some delicious food together. And she was so happy to see her son. And they were so happy to see each other. And so you two as well. Your mother loves you more than she loves that boss. That's for sure. And so even though you caused a little bit of trouble, I think your mom's love is so much bigger than the trouble you caused. So I hope that you two can go back home and be very, very happy with your mom and meet your mom. Put a smile on. Don't be so sad. Okay, everyone? So this is a very, very important message. And I remember a certain Bible verse, actually, from Romans chapter 8, verse 1. There is therefore now no more condemnation to them that are in Christ Jesus, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. And so there is no more condemnation in Jesus Christ. And I believe your mom forgives you about the vase. And so I hope you two can go home, be happy, smile, and eat very well and be happy with your mother, okay?
Okay.
I'll see you all next time. Bye!